A dog is in a car when he notices something near the trees in the forest and becomes tense. Cora, his owner, exits the store and loads the goods into the car. She also understands Charlie's behavior and assures him that they will return home soon. Donald, the store's owner, brings Cora the rest of her belongings and hands them over to her. Cora informs him that her nieces are coming over today and that all of this is for them. Donald warns her that a storm is on its way and that Halloween is tomorrow, so it's best if they wait a little longer. Cora informs him that no one is more superstitious than he. She then departs for her home. Charlie's demeanor becomes agitated as they travel through the forest, constantly barking at something in the woods. Cora is also concerned as a result of this. Cora comes to a complete stop, and Charlie jumps out of the car, breaking the window. Cora becomes concerned when Charlie disappears into the forest and goes in search of him. She takes a step forward and calls out to Charlie. Then, out of nowhere, lightning strikes the sky and a spark appears near the tree. Cora is horrified to see it, and as she turns to flee, she is grabbed by a menacing hand. Cora eventually returns to her car, badly injured. Emma, on the other hand, awakens suddenly with a scream. She has a frightening dream, and her sister Marley, who is driving, abruptly stops the car. Sarah, her older sister, informs Marley that she drives well. Marley yells at Sarah, gets out of the car, and tries to light a cigarette to calm herself down. When Sarah approaches her, she is enraged because her decision caused them to leave their home. Sarah informs her that her parents' savings are gone, and the insurance money is insufficient to cover the treatment of her younger sister Emma. As a last resort, they decide to live with their Aunt Cora. The three sisters resume their journey. They must travel further on the ferry to Shelter Island after arriving at the port. The ferry's owner tries to stop them, stating that a storm is approaching and that they shouldn't travel any further this year. It would be better for them if they stopped, but they don't have anywhere else to go, so Sarah insists on continuing. While they are conversing, another car pulls up behind them, and when they turn to look, they notice Emma is not in the car. The two distraught sisters split up to look for Emma. Sarah is calling to Emma in the forest when a bird flies past her, scaring her, and Seth, who is in the car behind them, appears. He mentions seeing Emma on her way to the ferry. Seth says that if he were Sarah, he would go to the island after the storm has passed. But Sarah questions him about going during the storm. Seth claims to have his own reasons, and Sarah claims that they do as well. Marley, on the other hand, discovers Emma crying on the beach. Emma informs her that her Aunt Cora is ill and has been in an accident. Marley assures her that it is all a dream. Marley tells Sarah about Emma's nightmare as she walks to the car. Sarah responds that it will take time to heal. Marley becomes enraged and claims that Emma witnessed her parents being burned to death in their car and that she will never recover from that trauma. Emma had a difficult time surviving this accident. Seth's behavior is suspicious as he pulls his gun from his car's dashboard and checks the bullet. Finally, both vehicles board the ferry and make their way to the island. Sarah and Marley are surprised to find no one on the island when they arrive. Marley suspects Sarah doesn't know how to get to her aunt's house. Sarah promises to find out. When the sisters notice someone watching them from the window's blinder, they rush out. While driving through the woods, Sarah comes to a complete stop and Marley begins to argue with her. But Emma draws their attention to the fuel meter, which has reached zero. They are startled to hear a rustling sound coming from the forest. They all get out of the car and run ahead. Arriving near Cora's house, they see her car, which seems to have been in an accident. Sarah sends Marley and Emma home, but when she opens the car door, Cora's body falls out and her eyes catch fire. Sarah screams in terror as she sees her aunt in this condition. When a wounded woman approaches her from behind, Sarah screams and backs away. The woman informs her that it has arrived and that she will not survive. A strange creature appears in the forest, between some wooden pillars, and a flame bursts into it, and the terrifying demon roars loudly. Marley arrives at Cora's house with Emma and locks her in the basement to keep her safe because Sarah hasn't arrived yet. Emma requests that Marley open the door, but Marley refuses and tries to contact Sarah. Meanwhile, Sarah transports the injured woman home, after which the four of them retreat to the basement to save themselves. Sarah bandages the unconscious wounded woman. Sarah and Marley are discussing about the woman when she suddenly awakens, grabs Sarah, and tells her that neither of them will survive. Marley inquires about Cora, but Sarah remains silent. Marley advises her to stop treating her like a child and to tell her the truth. Marley forces her, so Sarah tells her about Cora, which irritates Marley. Sarah wants to take the woman to the hospital the next morning because she believes she won't survive without medical attention, but Marley is against it. Their car has run out of gas, so they use a pipe and a bucket to drain the gasoline from Cora's car. Marley protects himself with an axe. Those two sisters are removing the gasoline from Cora's car. Sarah then tells Marley that Seth told her that many people died on this island last Halloween. Marley is enraged that, despite knowing everything, she put the three of them in such danger. She yells at Sarah, but she pushes her, causing her to fall by the car door, where she is horrified to see Cora's body up close. Sarah apologizes to her, and they both consider what to do next. Because their car is far away, Sarah suggests they borrow Cora's car. Marley does not want to touch Cora's body. However, when Sarah is alone and moving her aunt's body, Marley arrives to assist her. They both remove Cora's body from the room. They are startled to hear Emma's voice. As Marley approaches her, the wounded woman from within emerges as if thrown out. That woman grabs Emma's feet, but because she's dead, some other unknown force emerges from the ground in the form of tree veins and grabs Emma's feet. Marley comes to Emma's aid and uses an axe to free her. They safely sit in the car and drive away to town. The demon hurls bushes at the woman's body and roars in a rage. All three of them are terrified, but Sarah consoles them, despite Marley's suspicions that her solace is based on a strange demon that has caused havoc, who will assist them if the demon cannot be expelled until the morning. When they arrive in town, they are taken aback by the disastrous situation. Cars are overturned on the highways, and bodies are strewn about. Marley begs Sarah to listen to her this time and transport them to the port where they can board a ferry and flee. Sarah agrees, but Emma vanishes as soon as they look at the car. Emma had written to stay away from her on the blood-stained car window. Emma has noticed that her loved ones have vanished wherever she goes since her parents' deaths. She is terrified of the visions she is having as a result of what she saw in a dream, and she does not want to lose her sisters. Marley and Sarah are terrified and decide to look for Emma. They are both looking for their sister in different locations. Sarah enters an alley at the back of a restaurant. Seth pounces on her as she tries to enter through the back door. When Marley looks inside the stores, however, she only sees dead bodies. She believes that everyone on the island has died. Marley goes to a bookstore and calls out to Emma, but an injured man approaches her and tells her to leave, and the demon follows him and eliminates him. When the man falls on Marley, she begins to scream and tries to get rid of the man's dead body. The demon appears from the underground drain and seizes Marley's leg. Marley tries but fails to free herself. The devil is then shot with a rifle by a boy named Toby, who takes Marley away. Emma can be found in a bookstore. The demon notices Emma and approaches her. Emma goes into the store to hide. Toby takes Marley to a diner where some other survivors are present. Seth, who had previously met them, was also present. Marley needs to find Emma and wants to leave, but Toby refuses because he believes the demon will find them that way. Marley discovers Sarah, who is also imprisoned by them. Seth informs Marley that she was making a noise to leave, so they must. Sarah is quickly untied. The two sisters beg them to let them go because their sister is outside. Toby, on the other hand, is not going to believe it because he believes Emma has already fallen into the hands of the demon. Alex, one of the survivors, is looking for his girlfriend, Jo. Alex informs them that he witnessed the demon dragging some people alive in the same direction. Alex is prepared to accompany Sarah. When Sarah questions Seth, he says he was aware of the demon and wonders why he didn't inform them sooner. Seth responds that he warned them, but she did not listen. Seth goes on to say that a man told him that a tornado hit the area in 1915, eliminating roughly half the people. Hundreds of years ago, 6 girls were burned for witchcraft, and before they were burned, they summoned a storm. The lightning strike took their souls to the storm. They return with even more evil power, and then they exact revenge on the locals. They now repeat their witchcraft anniversaries every 100 years, and so heinous deaths occur. People here, according to Nicole, used to tell such stories, but no one believed them. There is no way to eliminate this demon, so they must seek refuge in this restaurant until the morning. They all look out from their blinders when they hear someone shouting from outside, and they see a girl being held by the demon and screaming loudly. They are unable to assist her. Seth is filming a video with his cell phone camera. Suddenly, the phone falls from his grasp, and everyone turns to face him. Everyone is now terrified that this demon has heard them. Nicole claims that the demon may not have heard, but Toby is too terrified to listen. Sarah suggests proceeding from here. Toby and Seth plan to hide in the freezer while Alex and Nicole prepare to leave with Marley and Sarah. Seth and Toby enter the freezer and lock the door. At this point, Alex and Nicole suggest that they obtain weapons for the fight at the sheriff's station. Marley devises a strategy and flees with Nicole's apron. Alex, Nicole, and Sarah all go to the sheriff's office. Toby and Seth had tried everything to save themselves, but they had no idea that their deaths would follow them. The demon enters the freezer via the drain hole, eliminating Toby before attacking Seth. Seth tries everything he can to save himself, but he fails and loses his life. Marley throws Nicole's apron into a car's fuel tank, catches fire, and flees. Sarah's team eventually hears an explosion, indicating that Marley is distracting the demon. There is no one alive on the sheriff's station staff. They all go inside and gather the weapons. Sarah asks Alex how to fire the gun before looking at the map. She questions Alex about his earlier claim that he saw drag marks moving in the same direction. She wants to use the map to figure out how to get to this location. Alex points her in that direction. Nicole informs her that this location has an old power station that has been closed for many years. As Nicole places her finger on the map to indicate that location, the map begins to burn, and the demon's hand appears and grabs Alex's head. Nicole fires a rifle at the demon, causing it to release Alex, but Alex is no longer alive. Nicole shoots the demon and drives it away after it breaks the door and moves towards Nicole and Sarah. Nicole enters another room and attempts to open the door, but the demon appears and puts her to eternal sleep. Sarah is terrified after hearing Nicole's scream and flees. Then Marley arrives in Cora's car, and they both safely exit. Sarah inquires as to where she has been for so long, and she replies that she heard Emma's voice. While following her voice, she discovered Emma's bracelet and noticed drag marks that matched what Alex had told them. Emma, according to Marley, is still alive. Sarah recalls the route from the map and instructs Marley to walk to the old power station. They discover Emma's shoe while exploring the forest. They continue in that direction, and the demon follows them and arrives there as well. Sarah and Marley discover a location in the forest where witchcraft occurred centuries ago. Marley checks a wooden pole for fresh blood, Then someone's hand appears from the bush and grabs her. She becomes terrified, but then she notices a girl who is injured. They manage to free the girl from the thorny bushes. The girl informs them that the demon gains power by feeding on them, and they believe Emma is also present. Sarah summons Emma's attention. However, the girl requests that Marley tell her not to make any noise because the demon will find them. After sitting Emma by a tree, they search for her and discover her buried in the bushes by a pole. The demon approaches them and drags the injured girl away. She called for help, but as soon as they could do anything, she was gone. Marley is told by Sarah to get Emma out of here. For a while, she tries to chase this demon away. Marley drives Emma away and eventually finds a tunnel. The tunnel door is shut. Marley tries to break it up, but Sarah arrives, and Marley informs her that she thought she was dead. Sarah insists that they leave immediately. The sisters then enter the tunnel leading to the power station. They are at ease here. The three of them intend to remain here until sunrise tomorrow morning. But, unbeknownst to them, the devil follows them and captures Sarah from behind the fence. Marley struggles to free her, and tells her sisters that there must be somewhere for her to hide. They flee deeper inside, hoping to avoid the demon. Emma is terrified. They are struggling to survive because they have nowhere to flee and no weapons to protect themselves. Sarah then directs the demon's attention to herself in order to save her sisters. Emma screams when she sees Sarah in danger, and the demon turns back to her. Sarah sees no other option and sneaks into a plant while the demon follows her. Sarah closes the door as the demon enters. The demon brutally puts Sarah to eternal sleep. Marley opens the door. That demon is now following them both. Marley orders Emma to leave and attracts the demon by lighting the litter herself. Emma runs away from there, reluctantly. Marley makes every effort to avoid falling into the hands of this demon. She emerges from the tunnel. She picks up an iron rod lying nearby and attacks the demon approaching from behind. Marley slashes the rod repeatedly into the demon's eyes and mouth, declaring that she will kill it with her. Marley realizes the demon has died and falls to the ground. Emma approaches her, so she tells her to call for assistance. When Emma leaves to seek assistance, the demon appears a short time later, hanging from a tree. Marley screams in terror. Emma arrives just as the demon is about to attack Marley. Marley tells her to leave, but Emma tells the demon to die now and steps onto the side, allowing the sun's rays to shine directly on the demon. The raging beast is destroyed there, but the two sisters survive.